there are 10 steps to disarm, or not disarm, to intercept a nuclear missile? Now you do, and I do too, which is something that I didn't know that I'd have to know at the start of today. Yep, today has been a pretty long and complex day that started with my big brother Sonic somehow getting, arrested by Gun, which is a kind of scary organization that took him to Prison Island. Prison Island is a prison island, which is very secret, but I found out about it on satellite TV, and then I decided to go and get him from there. And on the way, I did some research and found out that they're up to a bunch of shady stuff, and also had a bunch of prisoners that didn't make any sense to be there. On my way there, I heard Amy and was like, oh gosh, Amy's in trouble, and she was fighting with Eggman. So I went down and helped her deal with that, and then we decided how we were going to get out Sonic, and that I would cause a distraction, but whoops, turns out the distraction was a nuclear missile, and now it's headed to Station Square, which is one of the most major cities in the country. It's possibly Chicago and possibly New York. Who knows? So that's what we're up to.
All right. Welcome to Sonic Adventure 2 Roleplay, the only role-playing stream where we escalate the stakes within the recap itself. Because I'm pretty sure it was not a nuclear missile, but
it wasn't. I thought it was. Oh, no.
I don't know if it was specified last time, but it absolutely is a nuclear missile now.
Great.
I mean, there was a good chance I would have said, oh, you're going to nuke Station Square, but I remember the second I heard nuclear missile, I'm like, oh no, this is so much worse than I planned.
That's genuinely what I thought it was, so I've been preparing for that all week.
All right, well, that's what we have now. So, yeah, we had a pretty good summary of what has happened so far. Before we get started, just an introduction. Here are all of us at Sonic Adventure 2 Roleplay. You will hear more about us and what we do at the end of the show. But you can see all of our names below. Hello, welcome. You can see us and our roles below. So I don't think there's anything else we need to say before we jump straight into the game. Anything from any of the players that comes to mind? All right. So, recapsulation from the chat. So that was the recap. To summarize where we are right now. Right now, Tails, you are currently flying, chasing this missile that is now nuclear and going after Station Square. Yeah. You have some gun robots chasing you. Specifically, you have 2 gun wings. They're little, like, cute robot balls, but they have wings and also guns.
Oh, how cute.
Gun is not super creative in how they design or name things. You also have a Skyhawk. A Skyhawk is like a big trapezoid with wings. If the other ones were circles with wings, it's bigger and its gun shoots faster. Amy, you have broken into Prison Island, the main prison square, where a bunch of Sonic characters are being held. You have talked to Fang the Sniper.
I have.
Fang the Sniper is the leader of a group called Team Hooligans. They are hooligans. That's pretty much all you need to know about them. He has told you he can find you a demolitions expert. And you were going to escape until Big the Cat, as was foretold in the prophecies of, I think, Cat rolling bad at one point, fell through the ceiling and alerted all the guards. And finally, Sonic got so bored, he's decided to leave the island. But an issue with that is that Prison Island is set to explode when Sonic leaves. Not as he's leaving, specifically when he leaves, which is a very bad, plan on their part. But again, this is the organization that calls themselves Gun, so I can't expect that much of them. Yeah, so we're flat out in combat times right now. I'm not going to have us roll until, actually, let's all of us just quickly roll something to get started. Sonic's going to be a cool, and then it'll be vigilance for Amy and Tails, because I don't think either of them were prepared for the situation that has arisen.
Not particularly, no.
And then I'm going to do just a general enemy roll.
Okay, vigilance, and that is...
And as we roll, just a reminder for anyone who hasn't seen the system before, where you're playing the Genesis system, the way it works is that you roll set skills, you rolled colored dice. I'm going to tell folks what to roll. You're not going to see the results, because what really matters is that there are 2 scales of success. There's one that's just flat out success and failure, and then there's advantage and threat. So success and failure is just, did you succeed at the thing you did? Advantage and threat is it good that you succeeded or failed? For example, Tails launching the missile was a result of Cat rolling a success, but also a threat. And I'm like, the missile gets launched. Oops. And that's where we are today. So how did everyone do?
So, quick clarification, if it's 2 ranks in the thing that I'm rolling, I get 2 green, right?
So it is 2, it's 2 green flat. So you said you have
I have 2 in will, which is what vigilance is.
Okay, and then vigilance, do you have any, and you have 1 vigilance, so yeah, it's 2 green, but then since you have that 1 dot in vigilance, 1 of the green becomes a yellow.
Oh, so it's 1 yellow and 1 green.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I forgot that translated.
And then my enemies, I'm going to just pick the fastest one. I'm just going to roll a flat 2 green for the Hawks. Okay. So what everyone get?
1 success and 2 advantages.
Sonic has rapid reaction, so he had an extra blue, and that result was 2 successes and 3 advantages.
Okay, and Amy?
2 successes, 1 advantage.
Okay, so how this is going to go is that, and Tails, you had 2 disadvantages, right?
No, 2 advantages.
Okay.
Yeah, just 1 success, though.
So how this is going to work is that everybody's going to be able to go. They're going to do an action on their turn, and then I'm just going to have a bunch of stuff happen because I rolled poorly, so, yeah, all the enemies are going to go after your turn. So you can do whatever you want. Again, Sonic is running. Lord knows where he's running to. Tails is flying after a missile as 2 cute circular bots and 1 horrifying trapezoid bot chase after him. And Amy, the alarm has just been sprung. You've got Fang the sniper at your side. It also goes by Knack. And then you've got Big the cat, who is probably just waddling. He's walking around. He's looking for a fishing hole.
Yeah, Big's a friendly. He didn't mean to do this.
Yeah, no.
He got me there. I hitchhiked with him.
All right,
it's not his fault.
Who wants to go first?
Sonic.
All right, Sonic. You're racing out of your jail cell, which is right by the Metal Harbor. What are you gonna do?
Where am I right now?
So you are in your jail cell.
I know I'm running, but where am I?
So Sonic's jail cell is it's right next to the prison facility. So there is the main cell, and just for the sake of keeping everyone actually no. So what it is it's the main jail cell. It's kind of isolated. It on one side is the main prison block. Sonic had to be kept by himself because he was too fast. So there is the main jail cells on one side, and then the other side is the Metal Harbor, which is just the Metal Harbor stage from Sonic Adventure 2. It's a bunch of battleships. It's loop-de-loops. It makes no structural sense, but boy, is it the most fun level in the game.
Okay. Boy, those 3 minutes in prison really change a guy. So I'm gonna keep running. My first plan is to keep running. My second plan is to continue running. Are there any robots in my way or anything like that?
Depends. Are you going towards the jail cell, or are you going towards the harbor, towards just flat out escape?
So, do I have any indication that Tails and Amy are here, or anything like that, or any indication that there are other prisoners here? Like, what does Sonic know? Keeping in mind that he barely pays attention to anything that's going on. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I'm trying to think if any of these characters have appeared in. Actually, no. I've got a plan. Sonic, you have no indication anyone is here.
Okay. The first thing I need to do is track down that faker and serve him for stealing my shtick. So if I were a faker, where would I go? I'd probably go somewhere near me so I could observe me and learn how to fake better. All right, Sonic, what do you see? Do I see anything around me that's of note, or am I just speeding towards the battleships?
Let's see. So as you leave, occasionally you see a shadow out of the corner of your eye, but that is just your actual shadow. That being said, you do notice hovering next to it, almost like a ring you can't touch, there's another shadow flying alongside you.
I hate rings I can't touch. I'm going in that direction.
Okay, you go race towards it, and you're going and going, and I'll throw one enemy in your way. There's one enemy in your way. Do you want to beat him up? Yeah, how do you beat up this enemy?
I want to use it. I'm going to homing attack it. I want to use it as a stepping thing. Can I convert my 3 advantages into 6 rings?
Yeah, you have 6 rings.
Okay.
So you can homing attack.
So
I'll just put a series of gun enemies in your path. These are the gun beetles. They're the the mono beetles. They're like the gun beetles, except they're absolutely useless because they just hover. They can't do anything. They just hover. And you've got a series of them going over, like, let's say, just a gap.
Got it. So I'm going to spend 5 rings to use my homing attack. This gives me 1 setback, and I'm shooting ranged. What's the difficulty here?
Difficulty here is, this is range. It's going to be short, so it's a difficulty of 1.
Okay. And there's 1 setback, because that's the way homing attack works. I got 3 successes, 2 advantages. So I think I'll pick up, let's see. The way homing attack works is for each successful hit, attack another enemy in short range, add another setback die. So I hit 1 of them, and I have 3 successes. So I can attack 3 more enemies in range and add setback die. So this is my first homing attack chain.
Okay. Yeah, just keep going at them. You've destroyed 1 mono beetle. It's falling into the sea, but out of the sea rises a single ring, like the end of Lord of the Rings.
So that means I have 2 rings now, net. I got 3 successes, which means I can attack another mono beetle. So I'm going to roll again. This time we're going up to 3 threats.
Okay.
Sonic continues to press his luck. 2 successes, 1 advantage. I can attack another homing beetle, and the way I'm envisioning this happening is, they're a bunch of battleships, and they're pretty far out over the sea. So I'm just bopping and bouncing on each home beetle. Then eventually, I assume there's some buzz beetles that are between me and the battleships, and I'll just make my way in there, bouncing on all of their heads.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and for the sake of speed, since you've rolled so well, let's just say you get through like 5 of them. So take 5 more rings. And you go and you land perfectly.
I take rings. I want to use my advantages to save the animals.
Okay. Yeah. So you save. You just describe how you pluck the animals out of these beetles as you homing attack.
So
them.
what happens is I bounce on the beetle. It explodes into let's say a little pig.
Okay.
And then we go into slow-mo mode. And I flip around and scoop up one of the pigs in one of my arms, and then press it into my chest, curl up again, bop another beetle. This time what comes out is a little seal. I scoop the other seal with my other arm, and the third beetle, or the third bee that I get this time, thankfully, mercifully, is a flicky and can fly by itself. So the third thing that happens is I'm falling towards the battleship, and the flicky actually grabs me and gives me the extra lift I need in order to get onto the battleship. And then I carefully set down the animals, brush myself off, give a thumbs up to the flicky, and then just keep.
Fantastic. And as you keep running, something happens, Sonic. But
I hate it when something happens.
We're going to get to what happens in a second. All you can see is that small shadow, almost like a ring you can't touch, comes back again. And we're gonna figure out what that is in a second. All right, Tails or Amy, who's going next?
It doesn't matter. I have half a plan.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll take it.
Okay.
So how aggro are these bots?
Well, considering that they weren't flying at you and now they are flying at you, they are very aggroed.
They're very aggro. Okay. Well, there are slightly more important things happening. So, so, the first thing I'm going to do is, I guess, try to hack into the like missiles computer or the base's computer, whichever would give me the telemetry for the missile.
Okay. We'll say the missile one just because that one's more dramatic.
Great. So I'm going to. That's like the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
So
So yeah, let's say you gotta fly up right next to one of the giant handles that a small hedgehog could jump onto if he wanted to at the end of a Metal Harbor level.
Yep.
Oh no, Sonic will never finish the Metal Harbor level because the missile isn't there.
Oh, it seems like that's made for Sonic to grab onto. Weird.
And you have to get right next to it, and so it's going this way. The tornado, the cyclone, is now like flipped to the side to match alongside it, and you can do the bloop bloop bloop. Yeah, give me some hacks. This is gonna be a pretty easy hack. I'm gonna say it's difficulty 2,
Okay.
because you are hacking a missile, which is not usually what gets hacked, but on the other hand, it's very easy to get hacked because it is just a missile.
Okay. 1 success and 4 advantages.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I feel like the major limiting factor is that you have to be near the missile, which most people can't do.
Right.
That's true.
Tails is just that good. All right, so Tails, you hacked in like a pro. How did you hack in, and what are all the good things that happen?
Well, I went into the government computer right there, and and I got all of the. So the things that I wanted to know, I got a lot of information that I didn't want to know. But the information that I did want to know was basically like I just wanted to know where its path, how it was going. So the stuff that's important for me right now is like when it's leaving atmosphere, and then like where certain points in atmosphere it's going to be. So where its point of reentry is, because we need to stop it before it gets back into atmosphere. And I need to tell the Pentagon where to send kill intercept missiles. So I'm going to be giving them a lot of very boring coordinates very shortly.
Okay, so
Oh my God.
yeah, it's launching up into space. It's gonna go right above where the wreckage of the Death Egg is. That's about when it's gonna leave orbit. It's gonna go into space. As you get into space, you run across again another set of like completely unnecessary information.
Right.
Like it's flying up. When it reaches the peak of its arc, it's gonna go past this thing called I want to say the Arc space station.
Great.
And like the second that happens, like ominous music starts playing from your speakers, and it just gets super confidential, and you hear like an
Yeah.
old man go. But I mean that's not important. It's not going to hit the
Not
station, so
important.
it's
Yeah.
it-
It's not it's not the coordinates that I needed, which is the important thing. And then maybe if I'm lucky, the hardline number to the Pentagon and the cell phone number to the president. Those would be the useful things right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be it's actually pretty convenient. When it re-enters orbit, it's going to be a few miles out from the president's mansion, which I forget what city that's in.
I think that's Capital City. Yeah.
Oh, it's in. So it's going to take a flyby by Capital City before
Okay.
it actually hits Station Square.
Great. Okay, cool. Hopefully we can stop it right before it gets there. But cool. So if I have this information, I'm going to now, since I have the Pentagon's like secret line, I'll just call them and tell them all of this. That's my plan. That's what I want to do right now.
Perfect. We will call
Great.
the Pentagon on the next turn.
Great.
Hallie, you are about to start. And so you are there. Big the Cat has entered. Have you let Fang the Sniper out yet? I can't remember.
Yeah, so we were just discussing ain't nobody does nothing for nothing, and I was gonna let him out if he showed me being the dynamite. But then I think all the doors like popped open when the alarm went off.
That has not happened yet.
No? I
No.
thought it had. Okay.
Just the alarms have gone off, and there are a bunch of gun robots coming your way.
Okay. In that case, if there are a bunch of gun robots, Amy will sigh and roll her eyes because she doesn't have time for this. She has to get to Sonic. And she'll get out her hammer and imagine that she cocks her hammer like a gun. It makes that sound when she gets it out. And I would like to use 5 of my rings to do my spin hammer attack. To
Okay.
just wipe them all out at once. I don't have time to get that.
Yeah, give me a roll. It'll be a difficulty of 2.
Okay. So that's gonna be for my hammer is sorry, give me a sec.
What are you looking up for your hammer?
Like is it just the greens and the yellows for the hammer?
Yeah, so your hammer is going to be a melee heavy. So you have your 4 brawn and you have your 2 points. So it's 2 green, 2 yellow for the
2
hammer.
green, 2 yellow. Okay, thank you. 2 green, 2 yellow. And that is 3 successes, 1 advantage, and 1 triumph.
Okay. So a reminder of triumph. Triumph is like advantage, but to the max. It is above any of the bonuses. So on the cheat sheet I gave you, you could do any of them. Basically, just if you want something to happen, it happens. So yeah, you knock them. They just all fall onto the ground. Let's take 4 rings.
Yes. Could the thing that I want to happen? Could I hit one of them so hard that it like crashes through the wall, leaving a little silhouette of a gun robot, and that path leads straight to where Sonic's cell was?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that happens. So there's a silhouette in the wall, and that leads straight to Sonic.
Perfect.
All right. Meanwhile, now it is the enemy's turn, and we're going. So you go through, and you're gonna see that. So Sonic, you see the ring, because you're confused for a second, because when you look to where the shadow should come from, you see another animal, but this isn't one that you recovered from a thing. It's a bee with a helmet. And he says, "Hey, Sonic!" What the heck? "Hey, Sonic! Hey! It's me, Charmy the bee!"
Charmy, long time no be.
Oh.
buddy.
I'm so... Sonic, I escaped from Prison Island. Why are you going this way? All my friends are in there. That's not true. None of Team Chaotix are in there. And honestly, half of the people in there are bad guys. But there are people in prison.
Charmy, even bad guys shouldn't be left to die on an island.
That's true. So you know about the bomb?
What? You mean like heavy end bomb?
No, when you leave the island, it's gonna blow up. I heard the guards talking about it. They don't have a whole lot to talk about.
Have I already left the island?
I'm gonna spend a shadow
I
point.
turn around. Have I already left the island?
Because he's running so.
Taking a look at Metal Harbor, there is not a piece of greenery to be found. So, let me just shift one of those Sonic points to a shadow point. Shift a shadow point to a Sonic point. You have left the island. You have 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to remember to ask Tails to update the Wikipedia page for "Can you violate the Geneva Convention in Sonic Adventure 2 roleplay?" But so I will turn around and gotta go fast.
Okay.
So on my way back, I'm just gonna start revving up. And I'm in place. I get runner's position. I stretch left, I stretch right, and I start spin dash and revving up really, really, really fast. And instead of the little instead of the homing attack, I don't have time for the homing attack and the bouncing and the physics and the platforming. I just need to run on the water. So I just need to go really, really fast. So what kind of roll do I need to do for this?
I'm tempted because on one hand, I would consider that to be primarily cool, but it's more. So I would say either cool or the one that's about maneuvering. I forget what it's called. It's let me find it. Coordination. Coordination or cool. Either one of your choice. And it will be hard. It will be hard to run on water.
So I'm not that worried. I'm not that worried about looking cool right now. Unusually for me, I'm just worried about getting back to the island as fast as possible. Because if there's one thing Sonic hates, it's being slow. And if there's two things Sonic hates, it's innocents getting hurt. So he's revving up as fast as he possibly can. So this is a coordination roll, which means it's 4 greens and 1 yellow. You kindly flipped. And you said it was hard. You kindly flipped a Sonic point for me, or a shadow point for me. So I'm going to go ahead and spend that, making this 2 yellow and 3 green. And let's roll the dice. Oh no! End result 4 advantages. So here's what I think happens. I get revved up and I'm about to launch myself over the battleship when all of a sudden that pig that I just saved falls into the water. And so I have to turn around, come back, and grab that pig and put it back up on the battleship. But unfortunately, me pushing the pig back up on the battleship may sink down into the water. The advantages that I got are 8 rings. So as I'm like falling into the water, keeping in mind I can't swim, I'm falling down and I grab 8 rings on my way. So
perfect.
Dring.
Bad news about being underwater though, because we want to be adherent to the game.
I'm drowning?
Besides drowning, which will happen a lot faster than 10 minutes, your athletics is now 3 because Sonic is real slow in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So your athletics are just... Actually, no, I'm just going to give you a bunch of setback dice. I won't change your stats. Okay. Yes, we've got that. And I'm going to say, Amy, as you go in, you actually get up to where Sonic's cell was, and you're able to see, as in the distance, he just falls into the water.
Yes. Okay. She'll give a little yelp, and can I use another 5 rings to activate my Hammer of Holding?
Okay.
I might need to argue for this one because it's anything that can fit in your hand, but inflatable rafts can fit in your hand before they're inflated.
Yes, but you will need to take time to inflate it.
That might not work then.
No, do it.
You know what?
Let's just go for it.
Do it. All right. Yeah. Can I make a roll to blow it up?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what kind of roll that.
I don't know. I don't even know what kind of roll that would be.
Let's take a look.
Probably like endurance.
Yeah, I like endurance.
Resilience.
Yeah,
resilience, right?
Yeah, resilience. So brawl. So for you, Amy, that would be a flat brawl.
That's 4.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it's 2 because you're trying to do it fast. So it's 2 purples.
2 purples. Bloop bloop. And then that's 4 of the greens. Okay. 2 successes, 2 advantages.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
So Amy.
So that's another 4 rings, maybe.
Take those rings.
Yeah, that's keeping me mostly at what I was before. This is great. So Amy.
A quick question. Do the rings get shared? So if Amy picked up 4 rings, do I now have 12?
Rings. So when you're in a rings recovered from enemies are shared. Rings from advantages are not.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
So I still have like 10 from advantages.
Yeah,
I
something
think.
like that.
So Amy is running to get there fast, but because Amy's really cool, she's also blowing up an inflatable raft while she's running there. She's really fit. And then she's gonna throw the raft into the water, jump onto the raft so it lands like next to Sonic. So Sonic is here, and then the raft goes plop, and then Amy hits the raft and it goes like whoosh. And then she's looking real cool from the raft, and she goes, "Need a hand?" And she reaches out her hand for Sonic.
He's 5 feet underwater at this point. He cannot reach
God.
you.
Okay, well, in that
You
case,
just see a blub 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 blub.
she goes, "Ah!" and then jumps in and gets him out.
Okay, we're gonna get to that in a second. So,
Cool.
Amy jumps in. As Amy leaves, I want to show like it's a dramatic like. I'm gonna say, Fang the sniper looks to you and is like, "Hey, what are you doing? Thought you wanted a demo expert."
I still do. I can do multiple things at once.
Well, hurry up!
I'm trying. You're slowing me down. God. Then she goes back under. She's like bitching her nose before she goes under.
Meanwhile, Fang the sniper is holding off enemies by you know the thing like where almost like enemies are coming in and it's just like you're holding them off by shooting one by one. But again, his gun is a pop gun. It's just like a little cork on the end of a gun, at least if you go by Sonic the Fighter's logic. So it's just corks are flying all over the place.
I love it.
All right, so we're going underwater. And to make this shot as dramatic as possible, we are going to go down deep into the earth, down to the other side of the planet, and then go completely in reverse, back up through the planet, back to the water, and then back up to Tails in the sky, because it's otherwise weird to just pan down and pan up. But that's what we're doing. Huh? So we're panning up to Tails in the sky. Tails, you're going to have a couple of bad things happen to you. Okay. Instead of having enemies shoot, because I find it more fun to put the stress on the player side, I'm going to have Tails roll a hard piloting check. As these beetles try to shoot at you and you've got to dodge. And I'm going to spend a shadow point to raise the difficulty of one of the purple dice up to a red dice.
Okay, doke. So that's what that's going to be. And then let me check out what my piloting is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that, and it goes off of agility. Okay. So it's just that. Well, that doesn't look too good. I'm going to use one of these Sonic points if that's okay, gang.
Okay.
Thanks.
I like how we're just sharing a Sonic point back and forth every turn.
Oof, not great. 3 advantages, 1 failure, 1 despair.
So, let me just quickly look and see how much damage they do.
Great.
So you had the gun beetle. So that's gonna be, with all of them together, that's gonna be a damage of 4 before your soak. And then what are your advantages?
Let's see. Well, I'm gonna be able to get my call out before. Let's see. Hold on. My soak is 1, so that's 4. Oh, can I write on my sheet? I can't. So I'll just write over here.
Yeah, the sheet. I really like it, but for some reason it's one that you can't save it. I don't know. PDFs are weird.
It's okay. PDFs are weird. They are. So I'm still up. I'm just badly damaged.
Yeah, you're still in the sky. Maybe
I'm not. I'm still flying.
I'm still figuring out the despair, but
we don't need to worry about the despair.
It's fine. It's fine.
Hey, you know what the advantage is? is I had been trying to do a complicated thing where I connect to the Pentagon and the call is like transferred to the president's cell phone, and he has like a little, he gets to see all of this going on, so I don't have to explain this complicated situation twice. And the shot just happened to like knock the thing on the tornado that would make all of this connect perfectly. So that's my advantage. That this just pachunk made all of my connections go perfectly through.
And you go straight to the president.
Right.
So, and I want to play the scene out and figure out where the despair lies within the scene. So,
Okay.
the shot comes, it hits a few times, it hits the thing, and then the president just turns up. He's like, "Hello?
Hi, Mr. President.
Hello."
You might remember me from remember the Station Square incident with Perfect Chaos? I have this I'm this. Remember?
All right, so is this the fake Chaos Emerald or the real Chaos Emerald?
Is the fake Chaos Emerald the same color?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm holding up the faked one so that the tornado doesn't lose power. Yeah.
All right, so you pull up the fake one. He's like, "Kid, I hand out candy Chaos Emeralds every week."
Okay, well, remember how... Hold on. No, we didn't. Okay, for a second it looked like we lost power.
You're good. Yeah.
Great. So, remember how there was the Station Square incident involving the Perfect Chaos Monster that was like the giant monster that was powered by all of the chaos energy that was made of water and was very dangerous? I believe you remember because someone in your government decided that a great deterrent for that would be to place a nuke aimed at that very spot. I accidentally set it off. So, I think that I would like help from you and the Pentagon to deter that missile with, I believe it's called kill missiles, and I would need them sent to this spot and this spot. Oh no. Am I going away?
Yeah, your camera disappeared for a second. Give me one quick second.
This is a terrible time for this happening. This is the despair.
The despair is
Actually-
that Tails'
Also
video cut out.
Yeah,
Yes, this is so the despair is twofold.
Uh-huh.
The first step is that you said all of that and they can't see you. But the second thing, let me find the name of the character. I'm looking for him. Give me a quick second. So the camera cuts out, so the president has no idea what you're saying. Oh, his name is literally just Commander. But then the Commander also appears on the call, and you've got an issue. The Commander is the commander from the game Shadow the Hedgehog. And if we know one thing about him, he is the worst.
Yeah.
So you just hear this grizzled man be like, sounds like someone in league with Shadow the Hedgehog. To which the president goes, "Commander, you keep saying all these names. I can't recognize a single one of them. Tails, Shadow. Is this another, like, Sir, I think this is a threat. Well, if you think it's a threat, Commander, then I think it's a non-issue." And he hangs up.
What? No.
All right, and no is probably the word running through Sonic's head as he sinks into the water.
That's fair.
But so Sonic, you sink to the water, and suddenly Amy plunges in after you. What are you trying to do before Amy plunges in?
I'm trying to. Excuse me, sorry. I'm trying to grab as many rings as possible on my way down. Maybe I can get a light speed dash off. I don't know. Anything. I'm just grabbing as much as I can in the area.
Okay. Grabbing rings. I think I had a note for what this would be. I want to say it was just agility. Yeah, you can grab some rings. Just give me a generic agility.
What's the difficulty?
1. They're rings.
Okay.
You fall slow in water.
Two successes.
Okay, yeah. So you get 4 rings on the way down, and you are sinking lower and lower. Meanwhile, Hallie, give me a roll for successfully swimming. So this can be multiple things. It can be athletics, or it can be cool.
Well, Amy's trying to look real cool while she's doing it. Like, take this seriously because, like, Sonic is drowning. That's a bad thing. But, you know, like, this is cool. She's saving his life. This is very cool. So we'll do cool. I'm making that, and that is present. So that's 3 yellow, 3 green, 1 yellow. And is there any difficulty I should add?
Yeah, difficulty of 2.
Okay, so 2 purple.
Yep.
So Kat's still.
Yeah, I'm here, but I don't know if you can even hear me.
We can hear you.
My screen is completely black. So
Oh
no, do we need to take a few minutes?
I'm so sorry, but if you're involving me, you might need to. Otherwise, I am trying very hard to get back. Hopefully,
Okay.
I'll be there soon.
We'll do scenes for a little bit longer, and then if we get back to Tails and we need to take a break, we can do that, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so, yeah, what did you roll, Hallie?
I got 2 successes and 1 threat.
Okay. So, describe how Amy... I know what the threat is going to be. You successfully saved Sonic the Hedgehog. But, Hallie, I want you to describe how Amy thinks she looks as she's jumping into the water to save Sonic.
Baywatch.
Okay.
She thinks she's Baywatch.
Sonic, I want you to describe how Amy actually looks as she comes in to save you.
A terrifying dark shape passes over Sonic's vision. The last thing he thinks he sees before oblivion swallows him is a terrifying toothy grin, a vague pink blur, a group of like huge grabby hands pull him out of the water, and he hears a distorted monster's voice say, "Now I finally found you," before he almost passes out.
All right.
I think the disadvantage should also be that Amy has to give Sonic mouth to mouth.
That's not a disadvantage for her.
Oh, that's true. It's just a disadvantage for Sonic.
Okay. Yeah, we can do this. So, Amy, when was the last time you were CPR certified?
Like yesterday.
Okay, perfect. So, like 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's not
Okay, give me a. Oh, this is gonna be a rough one.
She knows that you're supposed to like pump really hard on the person's chest, and then blow a lot of air. And she just blew up an inflatable raft. She's ready to go.
Okay.
She can do this.
And all right, let me just do a quick change for 2 seconds. I gotta just adjust some people while we wait for Kat. Hallie, you are going to look. The cropping on this is cut in such a way that people cannot see your face. They can only see the side of your head. It looks like the inside of your head has been cut down the middle. But I want to finish.
Ideal. That's fine.
So you're gonna go to give mouth to mouth, but we're actually gonna cut away for a second. And what we're going to do is I am going to summarize a scene. So that way you don't have to try to emote with the sides of your head. So to kind of jump into the scene. So you're about to go, and this is your moment. This is your moment to roll a medicine check. And I am going to say that Sonic is so squirrely about the whole dang thing that I'm actually going to raise the difficulty is 3, and I'm gonna add a red to it.
So is that
So it's 2
and
purple, 1 red.
2 purple and 1 red. Okay, and
Okay.
that's just 2 green for me for medicine, because that's int, and I don't have any like ranks in it.
Yeah, so not great.
It's not looking great. To be fair, it is a panicky situation. Not many people would keep their cool. I got 2 failures.
Okay, Perfect.
This might end sooner than we thought it would. Sonic Adventure 2.
Well, Sonic isn't actually dying. He's just
That's fair.
panicked himself. Actually, yeah, you go to give mouth to mouth, and you said it was failures.
2 failures.
All right, so Sonic, you aren't going to lose health. You're going to lose the most valuable resource you have.
Rings.
All his rings.
Your rings fly out. And I'm going to say because it is...
No!
And I'm going to say because this is a Sonic attack, you know, you took the damage that would have killed you. So therefore, now you are perfectly fine. So, Amy, you go to describe how you're going to do CPR.
Well, Sonic is most definitely a
As we hear, yes, the drowning.
She will throw him up, and she's muttering, like, I can't believe he jumped in. What was he in the water for? Like, she's so angry that he was even in the water and not waiting patiently in his cell for her to come rescue him. This is a much less glory-filled rescue than she had planned. So she's like doing I think it's, oh god, I think it's like 7 pumps to oh my god, is it 2 minutes of chest compressions to like 10 seconds of air? She can't remember. She got certified 3 months ago, so she's guessing and just doing it when she thinks that she is right. And then eventually what probably gets him to wake up is just a really good thwack on his chest.
I was about to say, because the thing is, rings cannot save you from drowning in Sonic the Hedgehog. And if Sonic is drowning, he's just going to die. However, rings do protect you from taking damage. So you hit Sonic so hard that you change his damage from drowning to just regular damage. And the rings fall into the sea as he wakes up with just he bounces back a little bit.
He does that like where he fades for a second. Oh, Sonic, don't scare me like that.
Amy?
Yes? Who
And
else
then he
would
runs
it be?
off.
Sonic.
I saved your life again! She shouts after him. She doesn't know what the again is referencing. She just thinks it's probably true.
Meanwhile, Sonic, as you run, you're afraid that timer is down to 5 minutes. And you hear an explosion. But this one isn't the island exploding. Alright, we are going to, we're gonna go to a little bit of a scene that, in fact, does not involve any of the players, and just involves the most important Sonic the Hedgehog character, Big the Cat. So Big the Cat this whole time is in a pursuit of a good watering hole. So he just gets up, he walks around, he brushes himself off, he looks around, Froggy? And he sees as Froggy walks and turns around the corner. And so Big the Cat just starts walking around. Behind him we see a few characters. The ones that I probably was not going to include in the sequence. So we see Heavy and Bomb, which are just two robots. One looks like a tiny little comic bomb, and one looks like a tea kettle. We see where Shady Echidna would have been, but in order to avoid breaking the space-time continuum, she has been replaced with Eggman Nega, who is just an older Eggman in a tracksuit. He walks by Ray the Squirrel and Mighty the Armadillo, who are just being pals. They're probably playing like rock, paper, scissors or something like that. And then finally, he sees Froggy hop into a cell with 3 people in it. One is a giant silent polar bear that's just leaning in the back and kind of glares at Big as he walks up. One is a small duck, a small green duck, who is just he's very excited, but he's like, his hands are like moving around as if he's trying to touch something he doesn't have. And then finally, he sees this small badger who like leans up to the cells like, hey buddy, you gotta get me out of here. Hello. Do you know where the water is? Oh, the water's all around us. It's also deep, deep within the earth. That's where they hide the best water. Underground? So there's a lake underground, but Froggy and I can't dig. Well, I can. I can dig super well. Listen, you gotta get me out of here, all right? This island is rigged to blow up the second a hedgehog leaves it. That seems impractical. Yeah, but they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. All right, you gotta help me out here. You gotta press that button. And Big the cat walks up and he points to a button on the jail cell wall. He says, "That button?" And Styx, the badger from Sonic Boom, just like nods her head like, yeah, that button. This button. Yeah, that button. Okay. Oops. I slipped. And as he goes to press the button, he accidentally touches Bean the Dynamite's stack of just giant bombs, which had been left outside, and triggers them, which triggers an explosion that opens the side of the jail wall and causes all the gates to open up, and there is massive pandemonium. Meanwhile, Tails, you are able to get your camera back online, and the president isn't there anymore.
Well, the Pentagon isn't. They're not gonna cooperate and send up the bombs. So I guess I'm gonna have to do it myself. So I guess the mechanics that I've learned so far in this game is that in order to hack into something, you have to be physically close to it.
Yes.
Right. So how, based on how fast things have been going, do I feel like I'm going to be able to get to, say, an aircraft carrier that I suspect will have the missiles on them to hack into a thing and get that? Or am I just going to have to find an alternate means? You know?
I took your whole plan and I just threw it away.
Yeah. Which is okay. That's fine. We're going to figure out something else because I have a few alternate possibilities here. We have other people we can contact now that we know about other possibilities existing. So just, do I think I'm going to be able to get to an aircraft carrier? A very possible answer is no.
I'm going to say you see Big the Cat's boat. I'll give you that.
Okay.
You see Big the Cat's boat.
Okay.
But you have no idea what kind of stuff Froggy keeps on there.
Yeah, I'm going to go, no, I don't think that's really going to work. And I'm going to, I don't think that it would be a good idea to get so thoroughly shot up again. So I guess I'm going to take the little guys who are shooting at me out of contention, so that I can eventually take over the big guy who's shooting at me and take him on as an ally. And while I'm doing that, I guess I can't do two things in a turn. Can I? Can I do multiple things?
I want to say you can, but there's a mechanic with it. Let me think about that. If you use speed up for 5 rings, you can take 2 actions.
I believe I have enough of that because I have been collecting advantages.
Okay.
So I will spend all my rings and try to, at the same time, because I don't know what their deal is, contact this space colony arc because I would like help from the nearby space colony I'm passing by. I don't know what they're,
the nearby space.
Gotta try all of my options at this point. Okay. So that's what I'm going to spend this turn doing. So first up, my attack.
Okay. And that is going to be, it'll be 2 difficulty.
A 2 difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay. let's see, my little attack is my gunnery, which is goes off of Tom. Okay, so that was just one threat. Complete
Okay.
wash, one threat.
Okay.
So that's great.
Cool. Give me your other rolls so you're going to contact the Space Colony Ark.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I will figure out what that threat does as you are trying to contact the Space Colony Ark.
So that's going to be computers. I'm pretty okay at computers. What's the difficulty on this?
Difficulty on Space Colony Ark, it's pretty old. Let's give it a 3 because it is kind of advanced.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of advanced.
Nails, do you want to spend a sonic point on this?
Yeah, I'm just doing the math.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I have. Oh, did I go away? I'm still here.
No, you're still here, yeah.
No. That was in reference to you doing math.
That was rude. Yeah, I guess I'll spend a sonic point.
Okay. Perfect. I will note that.
1 success and 2 threats on that.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's exactly what
Nice.
I was hoping for. So
Uh-oh.
you are going to contact, and it goes ring, 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 ring. What do you say? You hear something pick up, and you can hear an old man's voice at first.
Hello. This is Tails from Earth, requesting help from the Space Colony Ark, dealing with a nuclear threat.
This is the death sentence for every human being on Earth. If my calculations are correct, the Space Colony Ark will impact the Earth in 27 minutes, 53 seconds. All of you will be destroyed along with your beloved planet Earth.
Hello? Who is this?
I plan to give you a taste of my revenge once all the 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected. Once I initiate this program, it cannot be disabled. All of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair.
Okay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Quick question. Can everybody hear this?
No, this is because the recording. This isn't. So, for context, for anyone who hasn't played the game, this is a recording from the end of the game when the Space Colony Ark is triggered.
Yeah.
It has not actually been triggered yet. Tails has just
I'm just
accessed the
calling it.
logs, so
Yeah.
he is the only one who can hear it.
Got the answer machine. Yeah.
You could send that video to the president and be like, "Hey, this is real."
Yeah. No, I'm recording this, so I've got the recorder going. Okay. Can you hear me, or is this just a recording?
I planned. Actually, no. I'll do this line. No.
Huh. Well. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that
I
recording.
plan to give you a taste of my revenge.
Well, I know where all of the Chaos Emeralds are at the moment because I access the prison's logs. So I know that they are all in the prison. So I will contact Sonic right now. Sonic! Beep, 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 beep.
Hey, Tails.
Hey, Sonic, can you go get all of the Chaos Emeralds? They're on the prison.
That's a little inconvenient, little buddy.
Why?
Because
I'm dealing
the
with a
prison's
lot
about
at the
to blow
moment, Sonic, so if you could just do this. If you could just do this for me, because I'm dealing with a lot.
Okay. You sound really stressed, little buddy.
Just a little bit,
we're gonna work
Sonic.
on our
So if you
breathing.
could just, I'm telling you exactly where the Chaos Emeralds are. So if you could just go get
Wait,
them.
hold on. What's that echo? Are you in space?
Don't worry about it. Please just get the Chaos Emeralds because I've told you exactly where they are, which I know because I've done a lot today. So please just get them.
Okay, little buddy. You can
Great.
count on me.
Thanks.
What was that whoosh and alarm noise I heard, by the way?
Yeah, don't, Sonic. This is a little above your pay grade, okay?
Okay. Hear you loud and clear, little buddy.
Great.
Got run.
Bye, love you.
Click. Love you too. Click. So did Tails send me the data of where the Chaos Emeralds are?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have that.
You just have that. Coincidentally, it's yeah, you have that. It's in a
Good luck fighting
a
Rouge.
save.
So I want to go into Sonic bullet time real quick because Sonic has to do something that he never had to do before. Is that okay?
Yeah.
He has to think.
I was waiting for this.
So Sonic knows there are 6 Chaos Emeralds on Prison Island based on Tails' data. He also dimly recalls an award ceremony and Tails being presented with the 7th Chaos Emerald about 6 months ago after that whole Perfect Chaos business. He also remembers that the Hot Topic knockoff somehow made use of 1 Chaos Emerald in order to warp. There's no possible way that that hedgehog is as fast as Sonic because Sonic is the fastest thing alive. And that's one of the things Sonic knows. So Edgy the Gothhog must have been using that Chaos Emerald in some way that Sonic's never used it before. If that's true, maybe Sonic can use one of the Chaos Emeralds in the same way Edgy the Gothhog does, because if Edgy the Gothhog can do it, Sonic can obviously do it. So if he grabs 1 Chaos Emerald, maybe he can speed up fast enough to grab a second, and then when he has 2, maybe he'll be fast enough to grab 3, and so on and so forth. This is math, and Sonic doesn't like doing math, but he does understand power. So what he thinks is, if he can get to this Chaos Emerald nearby, and then try to copy, for the first and hopefully last time in his life, what Edgy the Gothhog did, he can maybe warp to where the other Chaos Emeralds are, and with his own natural speed, he might be able to pick up 6 Chaos Emeralds and get off Prison Island.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this means that he has to leave the rest of the animals on Prison Island to their own devices. But hopefully, Amy can deal with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thanks.
This is what Sonic thought in 0.25 milliseconds.
Okay.
So, Amy, I'm assuming you go back to the prison cell, right?
What else am I gonna do?
All right, so let's. You know what? I think we're reaching a solid point for today's break, since the second half has that extra Knuckles and Rouge segment. So this is what happens. Tails, you are getting close to space, and unfortunately, you never learned as well as Sonic how to breathe in space. You're still pretty good at it though, but not great. Amy, you come back and you just see pandemonium as Big the Cat, who has this small bomb duck attached to his back, just raises his hand and waves to you. And then finally, Sonic, you've come up with this great plan, this amazing plan. But unfortunately, 2 shadow points get in the way of that. You arrive to the scene. It is this L block. So there's a hallway, and then if you go forward, it turns left, there's another hallway. As you get in, you hear a voice, an edgy voice say, "Get in the car, they're coming!" And you can see a trunk slam on 5 Chaos Emeralds as a bat gets into this small car and speeds away. But then you see, standing dramatically on top of one of the beams, this where the car was, this edgy piece of crap with hover roller skates turn over to you dramatically and say, "That blue hedgehog again, of all places!" And I think we're going to cut for our first break there.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
There you are! I finally found you, Fair!
Did you say faker or fair?
Faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Ha! You're not even good enough to be my fake.
I'll make you eat those words!
You won't even get the chance! A different scene, in a different time, in a different place. By virtue of the fact that Rouge was just in the last scene, and she's also in this scene, which takes place miles away, so it has to be at a different time. We open up in the bottom of the aquatic mines. You can't hear much here, except for the dripping of leaking pipes, the spooky scares of ghosts, and then my favorite Knuckles song from Sonic Adventure 2. We see behind these giant bars two characters. We see a red echidna, and we see a bat with a heart dress thing. And above them, we hear a little oop sound as an adorable like Chow, these little blue thing, accidentally trips on the water level eye, falls in by the other two, and the water level starts to rise in what has just become a death trap. Knuckles and Rouge, Oma Chow just followed you, but Knuckles and Rouge, last we had heard from you, you were going to get the pieces of the Master Emerald all the way out on Pumpkin Hill, which is about miles above where you are. You're in the mines beneath it. We're going to pull the old standby of, you might be wondering how I got myself here. So, what happened between then and between now?
I went to Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my lost piece. I used, a couple of things happened. One was that a ghost tried to approach me and got leery. But both of us got leery, actually, because as soon as I saw the ghosts and the jack-o'-lantern things, Knuckles got a little bit spooked. So he grabbed that Master Emerald piece, and he just tried to find somewhere to dig and somewhere to tunnel. But Pumpkin Hill is an odd setting because it's just a bunch of floating islands everywhere. And you'd think that would make Knuckles more at home. But unfortunately, Pumpkin Hill is populated by weird jack-o'-lantern things and ghosts. And these are all things that Knuckles is not very comfortable with. So the Assist Emerald piece, he decided to come back during daylight, as much as he needs sunlight, because he had to move next location, which is aquatic mine that he was sensing emerald shards were. And he's really, really hoping that the bat doesn't show up there, because he just wants one thing to go okay today.
Okay, so I think we got the gist of what you were saying. There was a lot of cutting out there for a second, but it sounds like Knuckles left, came back during the day, really doesn't want to see Rouge the Bat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and you definitely at one point are digging around, and you end up in this place, this just like little platform that's on some water. No big deal. There look to be some grates that could rise and trap you, but that's not going to happen. But she's on that platform as well. Rouge, how did you get to this platform that Knuckles was also on?
Right. I've had a lot going on, actually. As you mentioned, it's very unclear how this timeline works out. And also, for me, personally, the player behind Rouge, it's a little unclear what my, ultimate goal really is, because there's a lot of information surrounding Rouge, right? She has a job, and then some of her actions seem to conflict with I just don't know why she does some of what she does. I'll leave it there. Right.
Fair.
So she's been not just treasure hunting, possibly, or she treasure hunted got that all out of the way before she was dealing with the main quest, or
I feel like
it's just really unclear.
I feel like if this is Knuckles' job, this is like Rouge's hobby. Like she went
Yes.
and stole the Chaos Emeralds as part of her day job, and now that that's done, she's winding back by just kicking back and taking the Master.
We can all agree that this is her passion, right? This is what she's actually good at. So, Rouge is somebody who is actively good at this and is down in this aquatic landscape, avoiding traps, taking stock of water levels, noting what she should and shouldn't be doing, is having an A-okay time of things, looking at her little Dragon Ball Z, viewfinder thing and going, okay, I'm getting close to this, and having a great time. And then some himbo comes trudging along and is about to set off a trap. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we are going to play out the scene from this point on. Just a few notes about what happened is we did start with the trap set. So at one point during the scene, the trap must be set. Omochao, you will make your entrance after raising the water level, which happens after the bars rise. And then finally, for the Knuckles and Rouge segment, we are playing a different game. The mechanics of this don't really matter till we get to the end. All we need to know is that Knuckles and Rouge each have a secret goal. And their goal relates to one of 4 dice. Basically, they get more for higher level dice goals. So their goal could either be one of their own choosing. They'll get a single dice if they succeed at that. If they get 2 dice, they will get 2 dice if they scare their rival. 3 dice if they convince I wrote Roval here, if they convince their Roval to let them get away with a piece of the Master Emerald. And 4 dice if they can get their rival to flirt. Now, they had to choose one of these goals, and their goal during this scene is going to be to play out the scene, but also to get that to happen. Hallie is playing Omochao, a small robotic Chow. The small robotic space baby. That's what Chows are. Omochao's goal is to get both Knuckles and Rouge to succeed at their goals. But the big twist is Omochao knows what everyone's goals are, but Knuckles and Rouge do not know what each other's goals are. So, with that said, I will let you play this out, and when we reach a natural ending point, we'll talk about what your goals were.
Knuckles sees Rouge kind of across the way in this like increasingly shrinking room, and he says to himself under his breath, "Oh no, there's Rouge, that bat. She's sexy and smooth," he says almost to himself. And then he says, "I should rap that."
Oh no, music.
Knuckles makes a mental note when all this is over, he's gonna go home and write these sick rhymes down.
Knuckles just composing. Great.
That's his passion, Rouge. Don't knock it.
I'm not going to. He's good at it. He's really good at it.
He has a lot of time to make up raps alone on his island.
Did you say that our scene starts like when the trap is set?
I'm gonna. It looks like that's where we started. So, well, just to get caught up, Knuckles had landed on the platform. It's just a big room, and the trap has been sprung now.
Okay.
I was there.
Yeah, Omochao is also there.
Cool. Okay.
Really, Red? She just
Knuckle-
harumphs as the water starts rising.
Knuckles is like kind of dog paddling right now, and he kind of swims his way over to her, and he says in his toughest, raddest voice, "Give up the emerald or die! I don't love you!" And then he claps his fist over his mouth.
Okay, well, I'm not going to give anything up at the moment. I think we might need to work together to get out of the trap that you just sprung, you ding dong.
Oh
It
boy,
wasn't-
Go
It
ahead.
wasn't me, Batgirl. And then he gestures roughly at Oma Chow.
Oh boy, I'm really sorry. It occurs to me that I can fly, which is great. But I don't think that Mr. Knuckles can fly. So I think Miss Rouge is right, and you will have to work together, which is a shame because you just said that you don't love her, and it's really hard for people who don't love each other to work together.
At this, Knuckles gets a slight smile and he says, I might not be able to glide, but I can climb up the sides of these walls. Or I could if they weren't slick. And then he turns and looks at Rouge and he observes that her wings are wet and he says, I think you're going to have some trouble getting out of here too.
Rouge huffs and tries to fly. Is it working?
You know deep down in your heart the answer to that is no.
Knuckles covers his mouth and he does, despite what he always says, a little chuckle.
Aww.
Is it the chuckle from like the Sonic and Knuckles game that he does every time he springs a trap?
Kyle, we are best friends. That is literally what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what sort of trap do you think this is? One of the like a B-43 or something more ancient?
Well, it's a mine. And the mine wasn't used up until recently, which means that the framework for this trap must be
Right,
pretty
like
modern
in-
too.
Alexander Bronson B-43. I thought you were a treasure hunter.
I am a treasure hunter.
So do you not know about like She like looks you over again. Why are you doing all of this?
I don't have to tell you that.
She gestures. Well, she looks at the rising water levels and kind of makes a mocking watch thing. Considering I seem to know more about treasure hunting than you, and probably have a good idea of how to get us out of this, seems like you're kind of at my mercy, little one.
First of all, I'm taller than I look. And then he looks up and realizes that what he said didn't make any sense. He shakes it off and says, I'll have you know I'm the world's greatest treasure hunter.
Are you?
Yes, I can sense treasure nearby. I don't even need a fancy little doodad like that, which, by the way, probably isn't waterproof. And then he smirks again.
Why do you think that? Why do you think you're the greatest treasure hunter?
And he mumbles to himself, it's what Sonic told me.
It's true, I was there. It was a very cool moment.
That's nice, I suppose. But why do you care about all of this stuff? I, for example, love jewels.
I know. You said all the world's gems belong to you?
And they do.
You know, for someone who doesn't really respect real estate and real property rights, you're really hung up on this possessing jewels thing.
I don't see the conflict here.
Well, I don't know. You took a couple jabs at me for saying it was my island, but you're the one saying that all of the world's jewels belong to you. Doesn't that feel a little, I don't know, colonial?
Hypocritical is the word you're looking for, I believe, Mr. Knuckles.
Ah, real estate and then individual possessions. Completely different things.
Okay, but the gem that I protect belonged to my ancestors. As far as I know, I'm the last one left. That's why it matters so much to me.
So, like, you're almost a rare gem yourself.
He blushes. I wouldn't put it that way.
Come and hit this, and I'll go and hit the one on the other side.
Okay, but I'm watching you.
She goes and hits that. We're going to have to do other things. So you might as well tell me more about yourself, handsome.
Well, I was hatched on the floating island, which you all probably know as Angel Island. I've lived there my whole life. Sometimes it falls into the sea, twice at last count, maybe 3 times. I don't know. Counting isn't my story. Why am I telling you all this?
Because you're lonely. It must be really lonely up there.
It's not. I have my wraps.
Your hand wraps? That's what
No.
you have for company?
No, like my raps.
Oh, like musical raps, like you're an artist.
You've never heard of DJ Knuckle Duster?
No, because you're all alone on that island.
Oh, right. And I have no way of releasing my raps.
Wouldn't
I
you
think
be...
they're pretty dope.
Chow likes them. Tails likes them too.
Tails. Tails is in like the brilliant inventor who created this.
How did you get the... Oh. So it probably is waterproof, if I know Tails.
So if you didn't spend all your time guarding that rock, then you'd have more time to do other things, and people would actually know about your raps.
I don't need them to know about my raps. My raps are for me and Omachow.
But they could be for other people.
I don't
Then
need
other people would know about you. You'd be beloved.
That sounds terrible. Then I'd have people all over my island all the time.
Well, why would they have to be on your island? Why couldn't you come down and mingle?
Who would watch the Master Emerald?
Well, I know a few people.
I'll bet you do. The other reason that I have to watch the Master Emerald is once it's shattered, we only have a limited amount of time before it sinks back into the sea. And when it sinks into the sea, a lot of archaeological sites get waterlogged.
That's true. It's a real headache.
The Sandopolis zone gets clustered. Even Carnival Night, boy, you don't want to see that place when it's waterlogged.
That does sound like a problem. Then I better catch all of these shards really fast.
Or you could give me the shards you have. We could reassemble the Master Emerald, and you could come look at it from a safe distance.
Why would I want to do that?
You'd know that you were helping preserve some invaluable archaeological sites. And I'd have to be there to watch you.
So I'd get to spend time with you, you're saying?
You can't tell that Knuckles is blushing because he's already red. But he does like look away like this. And then he says, I know you're no ordinary thief. And I have to admit, you're not hard on the eyes. And then he looks away again. And all you can see are his like dreadlocks.
She like finishes whatever messing around with the mechanism and like chunks in the thing. And while she's doing that, and finally hits the thingy-mabobber, she's gonna attempt to steal. She's got him where she wants him, which is the usual femme fatale move, and she's gonna try to steal some emerald shards from him.
Okay.
He's
sorry. So while this is going on, he's looking at her and trying to look cool, which is when Knuckles is at his most distracted.
Yeah.
And he sees the her messing around and all this stuff. He looks directly at her and then uses his super strength to just punch the mechanism, which short circuits, and it has the exact same effect that all of Rouge's delicate tampering has.
Yeah.
But when he punches it, it shocks him briefly, and his dreadlocks floop up, and you see his cartoon skeleton for a second. And then he starts but he readjusts his hair and turns around, and that was the moment that you had an opening. If you
I'm using
something.
my opening.
Mhm.
I'm doing a steal.
All right.
Yeah. So Kyle, what does she have to roll to make?
Do I have to do anything? Oh,
No,
we
you
don't
just-
have stats, do we?
No, we don't have stats.
You
I think
just
it
play
just
it
works.
out.
Just do it. Yeah.
If we want
I
to
do
flip
a
the coin,
steal.
we can, but otherwise you just steal it.
I steal it. I'm so sorry. I stole one of the guys.
Omachow lets this happen.
Omochao watches, but does
Omochao
not
watches.
interfere.
Does not interfere. But after Rouge takes the emeralds, then Omochao will be like, I love when people go visit things to go look at other things with people, you know? It's just really, really nice. Like when I went on vacation recently, I went with my little Omochao family and we went and looked at a museum. It was a really nice bonding experience that was only possible because there was a thing to look at.
Museums are great, Omochao. Look, the water's all drained. Wonderful. We can all escape now. Bye. And Rouge starts drying out her wings and flapping away.
Okay, bye, Miss Rouge. I hope we see you soon.
Knuckles. Knuckles is just like climbing on up the sides of the mine. Now that the water level isn't rising anymore, he can get up there and actually just tunnel through. And he gets to the bank and just kind of shakes himself dry. And he turns around and sees Rouge like flying away. He closes his eyes, like smooths down his dreadlocks. He tries to calm himself. He says Tikal's prayer. The 7 emeralds are the servers. Chaos is power, enriched by the heart. The controller serves to unify the chaos. And then he looks down, notices that one of his Master Emerald shards is missing. And the last thing we see is Knuckles' angry fang face and like a little vein bulging out on his head. He shakes his fist, and we zoom in on that.
Perfect. All right, what were each of your goals?
My goal was to convince my rival to let me get away with a piece of the Master Emerald, which I did the opposite of.
Yeah, the opposite happened.
I was trying to get my rival to flirt.
So Rouge
I did it.
Points.
What I love is that I was convinced that Rouge was going to get the piece of the Master Emerald, but no, Knuckles was just so bad at his thing, he reversed it. All right, so...
I'm sorry, Knuckles. I tried to help you out there at the last second in a clutch, and it was not good enough.
Rouge will...
I've let you down.
Rouge will get 4 Flirt, 4 Chaos Emerald. So these are going to be 4, like, regular dice. There are things called Hatred dice. We will call them the Master Soul Emerald. I don't know. They're basically dice that Knuckles gets if he fails. So he'll get dice for that. I'll calculate it based on the rules of the game. And then Omochao only gets dice if both succeed or both fail. So
Omochao has not gotten any dice.
Omochao is diceless. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
No dice, Omochao.
All right. Meanwhile, in a different time, in a different place...
I can take these off now?
Yeah, take these off.
No.
And in fact, I'm actually going to set up the time frame. I'm going to say that Rouge is looking at this piece of the Master Emerald that she has recovered as she, in her car, speeds away from Prison Island, leaving behind Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog. To bring everyone back to where we are, we have Sonic and Shadow facing off. We have Amy, which is complete pandemonium, and then we have Tails entering entering a higher level of the atmosphere, trying to stop a missile. I think it's pretty clear how Amy and Tails feel. Sonic, how do you feel right now?
I'm looking at Shadow. Is that the scenario?
Yeah, you're looking at Shadow. You've just had that thing where you said, "I'll make you eat your words."
So Sonic doesn't get competitive often, and the reason he doesn't get competitive is because other than Metal Sonic, there isn't really anyone who can keep up with him. And Metal Sonic doesn't actually challenge his title as the fastest thing alive. So Metal doesn't really bother him. In fact, he has a lot of fun when Metal's around because he can actually cut loose in a way that he isn't really able to when he's fighting the Doctor, for example, because deep down, even though the Doctor does a lot of bad things and hurts a lot of people and is obviously deeply evil, Sonic doesn't want to kill the Doctor. So he's always sort of holding back when he fights Eggman. But this whatever it is, has proven that even if it's not faster than him, it can keep up with him. And that's something Sonic's never really had to deal with. So it's a mixture of relief and eagerness, but also irritation that he got locked in jail because of this creature, whatever it is. And then if he's being particularly self-reflective, which he isn't all the time, he'd admit to himself that he's a little annoyed that someone's jocking his style, because even though he tries to look like he doesn't care, when his reputation is on the line, it does annoy him.
Okay.
So those are a lot of emotions to feel all at once, which is why Sonic doesn't process any of them. So he's just standing down there looking up at this creature, and he's almost completely forgotten what Tails asked him to do, but he does know that there's a Chaos Emerald in front of him, so he's going to focus on getting that one.
And this edge-hog looks to you and says, I suppose I have some time to spare. And with that, Shadow, the ultimate life form, who has rolled, takes his Chaos Emerald and says, let's try something new. Let's try Chaos Spear. And he grabs the emerald and it shines, and out of it you see almost these sparks of like shards, almost looking like the Master Emerald shards, fly out of it, and they shoot towards you, Sonic. Chaos Spear. And I'm going to pretend I only spent one shadow point earlier, because I just realized I have to spend a shadow point to do this. So I spent a shadow point to do this. And so they fly into the air, they fly at you, Sonic, and this is going to be a short, I'm going to say you're a long distance away, so it's a difficulty of 2 for him, and then he has to roll his agility for that. And Shadow, the ultimate life form, has an agility of 4, so let me give a quick roll on this.
Like a baby's agility.
But the baby's agility is still enough for you.
Oh boy.
Sonic, you are going to take 4 points of damage.
Can I just drop my rings?
Yeah, you can drop your rings. So, okay. Sonic, you drop all of your rings as these spears of light just come and just start piercing you.
Not bad, Faker.
You're hardly even worth my time.
Sonic gets up off the ground. He takes his gloves and does the like nose thing. He points directly at him, and he says, 3 words for you. You're too slow. And then he starts revving up. And I want to, so I've dropped my rings. What I want to try to do is, I don't have any rings to power abilities, but there are rings nearby. I think I need to figure out what this guy is capable of, because he doesn't seem as fast as me, but he has the Chaos Emerald, which is an X factor, and that's the goal. And when Tails tells me to do something, I take that very seriously, and that's the only thing that I think about. So while normally I would be trying to defeat this person with all of my, with everything I've got, Tails told me to do something, so I'm going to do that first.
Okay, so you're going to go after the emerald?
I want to try to go after the emerald, but in order to figure out how to go after the emerald, I'm going to do a spin dash around in a circle and pick up as many rings as I possibly can first, because that's my usual operating procedure when I'm going into battle, because I fought plenty of bosses. Usually there are a handful of rings scattered around. I don't know why, but it just seems like there are rings scattered everywhere when Robotnik builds something, and I haven't really questioned it. Maybe he knows I'm holding back too, so he wants to give me a sporting chance.
Okay.
Either way, it looks like there's rings on the ground, and I'll pick up as many of them as I possibly can with an agility roll.
Okay, yeah. Give me a roll. And for this one, just for the sake of action, I'll say you can do this and you can attack.
Okay, so this will be like a maneuver.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is spin around picking up rings, and then just like in Sonic Adventure 2, I'm going to spin through the path of rings at Shadow, attacking him at the same time.
Okay, perfect. In that case, it is going to be a competitive roll, because he's going to do something to try to get away from you. So you're going to roll your roll what you would use to attack. Against that, you need to have 3 purple dice and 1 red dice.
Okay.
Because he is going to roll coordination to try to dodge you.
So you said 3 purple dice, 1, 2, 3, and a red dice.
Yes.
I'm going to use coordination to try to hit him too.
Okay.
So that's 4 green dice and 1 yellow. I'm also going to Shadow kindly gave us 4 Sonic points to work with, so I might as well spend one of them. So I'm rolling 3 green and 2 yellow versus 3 purple and 1 red. So this should be exciting. Let's see how this goes. It's taking a very long time to roll. It normally doesn't take this long to roll.
I suppose we haven't done this high of dice before.
Why is it taking so long? I'm already bored.
Do we want to just refresh the page?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1. Roll. There we go. Oh,
Yay.
this roll is amazing. 1 success,
Yep.
2 advantages, and a despair.
Oh, jeez.
No.
I love it.
That is a good roll.
So that means I do succeed,
Yeah,
and there are
rough.
2 advantages, but there's a despair. So I'll leave the despair to you, Kyle.
Yeah, describe what you happened, and then I will explain the wrinkle.
Yeah. We're in a green foresty area right now, which again, unfortunately, is surrounded by water. Ugh.
Well,
but-
currently you're still you're actually not in the place where you fight Shadow. You are in the lair. You remember the Rouge level where you go and you collect all the Chaos Emeralds?
All of them?
Where she goes and collects the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic Adventure 2. It's like a L. It's a part of the prison.
Oh, when she breaks into Prison Island to steal the Chaos
Yeah,
Emeralds.
that's where
Right.
you went to get the emeralds. So you were still there fighting Shadow.
Got it. So I'm still okay. So there's no water around, which is great.
No, that's great.
The thing I don't like is that there isn't a lot of room to maneuver because I like having a lot of room to run around. So that's kind of constraining my movements now. However, I did manage to bop him good and pick up 4 rings. So I've got 4 rings and I've managed to damage him to the tune of, let's see, my agility is 5 and Quill does 1 damage. So I managed to do 2 damage to him.
Okay.
I don't know what his soak is, but
It's 2. He feels nothing.
well, that's normal. So I do manage to knock him down. Wait, is he holding any rings? Because I can knock those out of him at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you knock the rings out of him. Maybe those are the 4 rings you get, or the ones you knock out of him.
Awesome. So he doesn't have any rings and I have 4 is the result of that. Unfortunately, there's also a despair. So I'll let you figure out what that is.
Yeah, so you you go and you knock him down and the rings fall and you're feeling super confident, right? In the chat, is this like Sonic D&D? It's the Genesis system, but yeah, basically, this is Sonic as a role-playing game. So you go and you're like standing above him, you're on this platform, and suddenly there's a burst out of one of his heels, and he kicks you, Sonic, and you fall flat on your back. You don't lose any rings, but you are now on your back, and actually it looks like you're about to fall off. So he's about to like kick you so you fall off of the platform you're on, and he just grabs you by the scruff, looks at you and says, "What was that you said? You're too slow?" All right, now we're going to move to Tails. Tails, you are entering the stratosphere. You have
Okay.
these robots chasing you, and then to simplify things, in fact, I'm going to say the big one, the big trapezoidal one, is still following you. The other ones, as you get higher in the orbit, are just, they can't stand it, and they just shatter into pieces.
Phew. Okay. Well, that is fortunate because my new plan. I'm gonna try to hack the big one.
Okay, you want to hack the big one?
I'm gonna hack the big one.
And let me see. I think its defense would be like, it would probably be intellect for its defense, which, if I remember, I gave these things basically no intellect. So let me just quickly check. Yeah, it has an intellect of 1, so you have to roll 1 purple dice.
Okay. Well, I have 4 successes, 3 advantages, and a triumph.
Whoa.
You hack this thing so good, it's almost like you built it yourself. So, yeah, tell me how Tails does this maneuver to like turn around, hack this thing, and what super good thing happens as a result.
Okay.
Sonic and Tails have a pet nuclear missile now named Nuki.
So, what I'm trying to do,
Because you were going after the trapezoid robot, right?
I'm going after the trapezoid robot.
Okay.
The plan. All I'm trying to do is get somebody to send a missile to intercept with the nuke so that it doesn't explode on top of or over any major city, right? That's the entire plan here. And ideally, I wanted somebody to do this while it was in space. Here's the thing, though. I'm in space now. So is my new friend, Trapezoidy. So, the looks like Trapezoidy is now going to collide with the nuke. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm taking the tornado, and the tornado, because, you need to be next to something to hack into it. I'm doing perfect flying to get right next to Trapezoidy, and I hack into it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there has to be a little animal inside of there. I'm
No, not always. Not
always.
Because the GON robots don't always have animals.
That's right. So thankfully, I don't have to worry about a little animal surviving in the vacuum. So we're fine there. I do my little computers, my bloop bloop bloops, and also I managed to give it like a little boost, a little turbocharge. So giving it the necessary oomph to get up to speed so that it'll be able to do a collision at a fast enough speed and a far enough point to be able to do a big kaboom while still in the space. That's what I'm trying to do here.
Perfect. And let's dig into the adventure of this trapezoid. So let's learn about the life of Trapezoidy the robot.
Trapezoid Adventure 2.
Trapezoidy the robot. When Trapezoidy was raised, Trapezoidy spent a lot of time around the circular robots, around the orbs. It was just part of that unit. Trapezoids get put with orbs as protector units, but really, it felt like it was being protected by the orbs. Just the feeling of community and support that came from it. Sure, Trapezoid may have been the muscle, but the orbs were the heart. Trapezoidy had some tough times. Gun was not really relevant until the events of Sonic Adventure 1. Trapezoidy didn't have much to do, didn't have a purpose in life. And Trapezoidy thought it did. Trapezoidy thought it had a purpose when it chased this small fox boy, but when it got hacked, it wondered, what am I doing with my life?
Oh.
What do I want? What do I need?
Oh no.
And the hacking did not change Trapezoidy's mind. It unlocked its heart. Trapezoidy, now realizing all the harm that would come, how the orbs would not be able to really fulfill their purpose if all the people got hurt, realizes, Iron Giant style, that it needs to take a sacrifice to save the Earth.
Oh.
So,
Superman.
with a little bloop bloop bloop, which is the equivalent of saying Superman, except it's saying supersonic. It flies up to the missile, and in a magnificent explosion, the two collide and explode into a giant shape of what to you would look like just a circle, but to what it would be the shape of a heart. So Tails, you just hack a robot and you see it fly and it blows up and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right. Before we move on to Amy, what are you going to do now that now that you have saved the world?
Sorry, it was still with me. I go. Phew, okay. Now, all I need to do
let's tell the president that in 30 minutes, a thing is going to crash into the earth. And, also, there's an evil man working for him. And also, I don't even know where we are. Okay. I don't even know if I can breathe up here very long. Okay, Jails. Back to Earth.
Meanwhile, you hear, I don't even know where we are anymore. This doesn't adhere to canon at all. And we see just a small green duck running around, just planting bombs like Bomberman, running back and forth. As just pandemonium has broken out. Everyone's doing everything. Styx has jumped on top of a robot and is like tearing out it's tearing out like the wires like from the jugular just with her teeth. Other things are there. Eggman Nega is trying to be like, oh ho, I'm so evil. And Amy
He does say that. That's what he says.
And meanwhile, Amy, you are in the middle of all this, and you realize there are 2 minutes left until this island explodes.
Okay. Amy takes out her hammer. Can we say there's like a support beam nearby? Like one of those, I don't know what the material is. I want to hit it so that it resounds. It's like a really loud like dinner bell, but a forceful
Okay,
one.
I'm just going to say this happens because I love it. So you just ring it, and it's like ding, ding, ding.
She waits for everybody to look at her and for the sound to die down a little bit.
Everyone murmurs down, and you just hear a few like...
You
As
hear
the
Bean say, stop, hammer time.
Yes. And you hear his explosions just like slowly fade out as they all start taking effect and eventually peter out, and everyone is looking at you.
Looking at everyone, Amy says, listen up. I'm in charge now. Okay, you got it? This whole place isn't safe, and that's not because it's a prison, it's because it's gonna explode, because the people managing the prison are not very good at it. So here's the situation. I have exactly one inflatable raft.
Dying to hear where this goes.
And there is one rowboat. Then she points at Nick the cat and goes, and don't even think about not volunteering it because I know you have it because I rode in it to get here, and I'm commandeering it if you don't.
Okay. I want you to give me a leadership role just to see how this whole scene goes. And based on your role, I'm going to give you let's say a difficulty 3. Because there are some that will be easy to convince, some that will be hard to convince. So based on how good your role goes, will determine who follows you and if Bean continues to blow stuff up.
Okay, so my leadership, I do not have ranks in it. My presence is 3, so that's going to be 3 green dice, and you said 2 difficulty?
3
difficulty.
3 difficulty.
Okay, so that's 3 purple, right?
Yep.
All right, 3 green, 3 purple. I have 1 success and 2 threats.
All right, I'm just going to get through the list of characters quickly. But yes, you successfully convince everybody. Everybody is on your side. They're listening. And one of them, let me actually get the list of characters here. And actually, you're going to get a little bit of thing. Fang, or Knack the Sniper, is going to look at you and say, who put you in charge, Pink?
I put me in charge. You got that? I'm staring him down. Amy is staring him down.
He's going to stare at you. It's going to be like a Western showdown. He's got his hand on his little cork gun pistol.
A tumbleweed rolls in the distance, but it's one of Bean's bombs.
It's one of Bean's bombs, yeah. He has his cork gun. I'm assuming you're holding your hammer in a similar way.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he looks at Bark the polar bear, who just like has his arms crossed and just shakes his head at Fang. And Fang puts his hand off his holster, walks back.
That's what I thought. All right, now does anybody have any ideas? I can fit 4 people in this boat, and Big can take another 5. How many are here?
Let me count. 1. Charmy B just went off and did his own thing. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Don't forget Froggy. Oh yeah, and 12. You've got 12.
Okay.
Including
So by the numbers
Froggy.
I just made up, I can get 9 people off.
Yes, you can get 9 people
Well,
off.
Heavy, Bomb, Teddy Tails, and Metal Knuckles don't really need to breathe, so they could just walk on the ground ocean and walk away.
Would Amy know that though?
Well,
is
I mean,
Amy-
Metal Knuckles is obvious. Well, 3 of them are obviously robots, and one is a
Okay,
creepy
that's fair.
doll.
That's
One
true.
is a creepy doll, so...
That's fair. All right. So then arbitrarily, Amy's just pointing like, you raft, you boat, you raft, you boat. And she splits everybody up except for the people who are clearly robots.
Okay.
And she's like,
Or a creepy possessed doll.
or a creepy possessed doll. And goes, you're on your own.
Oh no! And Metal Knuckles and Tails Doll just look rejected. They're not evil, man. They just want to race. The only game they appeared in was a racing
Well,
game.
they can race under the water. They can race off the island. That's good. That's good.
Wait,
for them.
no, we know Metal Knuckles makes it off because in, I think, Sonic Neo Geo, he's one of the bosses, so he's okay.
He's fine. He's fine.
They're
He's
gonna
good.
be
He's
fine.
good.
Amy
Well-
just has to. She's got to do the tough stuff. This is hard.
Yeah, but and you see this like I don't even know. Is Bean a duck? I've just assumed he's a duck.
Yeah, he's-
okay.
Yeah.
He's a duck.
You see this green duck
Yeah.
just look at you with an arm, just look kind of off in the distance as if he's talking to 4 people playing a game as he leans on a bomb and he says, well, you know, sure, but I think we're kind of just completely off the rails at this point. Anybody could die.
Oh no, Bean.
Not if you listen to me, they won't.
Being the
you
dynamite,
you didn't
Kyle's
even
self-aware
understand this.
character.
You didn't even understand this plot before 2 weeks ago.
Sure didn't.
Anyways, so I got a couple of threats for you. I got these bombs, and he points to 2 bombs, and he says, "I think they should make it go faster. But again, with the way the rolls went, they'll probably just blow up the thing,
The thing, like the island,
the raft.
the raft. We can't have that.
But but my babies." He pulls the bombs closer.
So I have to get the bombs away from Bean. That is my
Yeah, that is
understanding
your
of what's
obstacle.
happening.
You have to get the bombs away from Bean.
That's my threat. All right.
All right. Meanwhile, we are down to 1 minute left. Sonic, you have Shadow holding on to you,
Mhm.
and he could let go at any second. And in fact,
All right. Time for some shadow boxing. So I'm gonna do like a backflip and kick Shadow in the face as I'm backflipping out of his grasp.
Hey, hey, Sonic.
Oh, shoulder tails. I turn to my side.
Hey, Sonic. Do you want to save everyone on the island, or do you want to have a dumb boy slap fight?
Tails, you know I want to have a dumb boy slap fight.
Are you sure you don't want to save everyone on the island?
I want to do both things, Tails, but if it's a choice between saving everyone on the island and having a dumb boy slap fight, I guess saving everyone on the island is just slightly.
It's a little more
on my
important
list.
than having a dumb boy slap fight. Yeah,
But I want you to understand it's only a little more important, Tails.
it's noted. It's noted in the log.
Okay, thanks, Shoulder Tails. And then he pats invisibly where Shoulder Tails is. And instead of he instead of kicking Shadow in the face, he just twists out of Shadow's grip. And I'm going to spend a Sonic point to use. I'm going to spend a Sonic point to gain 10 rings and reach an otherwise unreachable place. And in this case, the unreachable place is going to be like a window that's very high up on the side where Shadow couldn't get to. And I'll just travel along this line of rings so I can get out and see and get a better vantage point. I'm not pleased about this because it means that I'm running away from a fight. But again, Elder Tales did tell me that there are people in trouble and remind me that I have to save people. And besides, Shadow and I can settle this somewhere suitably dramatic, like space or something. I don't know. So I'm just going to keep running. Can't hold on much longer, but I will never let go. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to start speeding away.
Okay. So you start speeding away.
I said I spent a Sonic point. Or I'm going to use my Ready for Anything ability and make it so as an incidental, I just spent a Sonic point without having to flip it. So
Okay.
we still have 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think
as-
I'm also going to take the maneuver. I want to try to speed up. You said before that you could speed. Did I collect rings when I did the light speed dash? That makes sense, right?
you
I
collect-
gained
you
10 rings.
Yeah, you gained 10
Yeah,
rings.
I'm going to use the speed up ability and double speed to where I see the explosions coming from, because my intuition tells me that where the explosions are coming from is where Amy is.
Okay. And as you leave this encounter, Shadow just looks up at you, brushes himself off, and says, I'm the coolest anyway. And then with that, with the blink of the Chaos Control light, he disappears.
Whatever you need to tell yourself, buddy.
All right, so, at this point, I think no more rolls. We're just going to resolve this action sequence. So, to explain, Tails is trying to call the president
Yeah.
to warn him about the island crashing. Sonic is racing towards Amy. Amy, I'm going to say you're trying to convince Bean to take care of the bombs. And then the little pig, just to make sure everyone gets together, the little pig, which was far away, has finally waddled its way over to the rafts and has just jumped inside and snuggled up. All right, so that is where you are.
Yeah, I mean, the seal's fine because it's a seal.
Yeah, it's fine.
The seal and the flicky are okay. Yeah. It's the pig that's the problem.
Okay, so yeah. Let's do, if it's all right with you, Tails, I feel like your call will probably be the last thing we cover, just because I think it needs to be, just because of the nature of that conversation, that one will probably just get cut short by the explosion. So let's go with the bombs. So Bean is just looking at you like, no, I will not give them up.
What's your name again?
My name's Bean. I'm somebody's favorite character. At
Bean,
least
I'm
one person.
I'm sure you are. And I'm sure that person would be very, very sad if you wasted all your bombs like this.
Well, I have bombs all over the place. I can make them as much as I want.
But can you make them as little as you want?
Can I make them as little as I want? Can I make them as little as I want? Of course I can make them as little as I want. They are my bombs. I can do what I want with them. They're my babies.
Oh, I've never really seen you do that. I think the mark of a true demolitions expert is not demolishing anything at all for 2 minutes.
Well, these are already primed. Why would I want to stop a bomb that I've already set? Like, that's just not any fun.
You know what? You're right. You know what could be fun? If you threw them over there and then left them behind so they could explode in peace. We're just not there to watch it. Imagine if your bombs got to live out the rest of their lives.
But if the
island.
bombs don't blow up and nobody in the audience sees it, they don't exist. And there's just a brief moment of existential nightmare in his eyes. So that seems like a terrible idea.
Are you sure we won't see it?
And suddenly Bean gets an idea. He says, fine, 1 second. And he runs off at the same time that Sonic, you run up and you catch up with Amy and everybody in the 2 rafts.
I look around. I see Bean running off. I look to the other raft. I see Fang in there. I look at Amy, and then I say, Bean? Fang? What is this, a fighting tournament reunion?
If it is, we're all losing because we have to get off now.
Is SBO around?
I don't know. SBO? SBO, are you here?
And whatever happened to Cat? Anyway, good to see you again, Ames.
You too, Sonic. We could really use your help getting off of here. Do you have? Can you go fast? Could you do a motor with your legs to get us off of here?
Can I go fast? He sits on the edge of the raft and then just starts kicking his feet really, really, really fast, like a doggy pedal thing. And we see the boat zoom off in the distance. And as this is going on, Sonic turns to Amy. He says, "Do you know anything about this faker that's been totally stealing my look?"
Oh, you mean the hedgehog with the really cool frosted tips?
No, this one looks terrible. He's like considerably less handsome than me.
I don't know. Sonic, you have to be honest, says Shoulder Tails.
Okay. Okay, he's almost as handsome as me.
I mean, the hair looks really good.
He has really cool shoes.
No, he's wearing roller skates, Tails. Roller skates. That's hilarious.
Is it?
Also, he's short. There, I said it. He's short.
Aren't you like the same height right now?
We're the same height when he's wearing those platform shoes. That means he's short.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's short. Anyway, so I was fighting him, and then he said, "Oh no, I think there's a sale at Hot Topic," and then he ran away.
Well, there is
That's
a
what
sale at
happened.
Hot Topic.
Yeah, so that's what happened. In case you were wondering why I didn't finish my fight with him, which I know you were.
Oh, that's where you were. You were fighting Cool Hedgehog.
Well,
She
I
called
don't,
him Cool Hedgehog. She called him Cool Hedgehog after you
Amy-
lied.
Amy, I don't love that name, but if you must know, he says his name is Shadow. You're supposed to laugh.
I don't know. I kind of like it. And you said he's got like skates. I should learn to skate. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's fun. We should all take up skating.
We should all go to the roller rink.
Sonic turns around and he's still like paddling, but he won't speak to anyone or talk to anyone for the rest of the trip.
And as you skate away, we never saw Bean come back.
No, Kyle, I was going to ask. He's in the boat.
But we never saw Bean come back. Yet mysteriously, as the camera pans, we just see sitting in the boat Bean the Dynamite.
Yeah, that's what Bean does.
And he turns to the camera and winks. All right, so let's go through the the cutscene. We are now in the explosion. So we see a few things. We see the island. It is empty. It is desolate. Nothing is in there anymore, except for a Tails doll who's being dragged. A despondent Tails doll who the Knuckles bot is just being like, "Come on, buddy, we got to get off the island." We hear a beep beep of a timer, and we see a bomb hooked up to another bomb that is now labeled Bean's bomb, because now he just put his name on the bomb that's blowing up the island so that he can take credit for it.
All the power to him.
It beeps down, 10, 9, 8. We see everyone paddling away. We see Sonic and Amy arguing. We see Tails. Tails is shouting to the President of the United States of America. Not the United States, sorry, the United Federation. Tails is shouting to the President of the Federation. What is Tails saying?
Just please look at the video that I'm forwarding on your right now on the phone. Just like look at it, because really they say that the Space Colony Ark, which you've also been hiding. You've been doing a lot of sketchy stuff, Mr. President. They said that they're going to crash into the whole planet as revenge in 30 minutes, and that's a lesser time now. So, Mr. President, you really need to address this. It's like a big deal.
I told you, kid, I don't know how to find your grandfather.
Mr. President, I'm gonna have to put this on satellite TV. Don't pay any attention. I'm gonna have to do that.
And as you say that, well, you can do whatever you, and the reception cuts off as we focus in on the bomb, and it goes from 1 to 0. And suddenly it bursts forth in an explosion. This one is also circular, but it is not of a heart. It is of a heart breaking. The island explodes into bits and chunks. We see the base explode. We see the metal harbor explode. We see the green forest, which we've never actually visited, although it is an in-game location. We see that forest explode as well. We watch the seal work alongside the Flicky to race away as everything blows up, and the island takes up, and it absorbs our vision, allowing us for a nice segue into a scene some point far in the future. We are now some indeterminate time later. Everyone is met up and you are going to regroup. The island has exploded. The Space Colony Ark has not fallen, but you are watching on satellite TV as the speech continues. The one that goes on something like, things like, the colony was completely shut down, probably to prevent the prototype from falling in the wrong hands. So you're watching this on satellite TV in a hideout location you are staying in. Where have you gone to hide out after you have been blamed for blowing up an island?
It's a giant building shaped like Tails' head.
Okay. You're in a giant building shaped
It's
like...
Tails' workshop. We're hiding at Tails' workshop.
It's discreet.
Very discreet. Yeah. Okay.
No one would expect us to go there.
He's got a point.
Yeah, and we just see like a bunch of broken gun robots outside because they absolutely were patrolling the place, but they just, they all got destroyed. So you're hanging out in Tails' workshop. You're watching that thing on satellite TV. How's everyone feeling after your prison break? I mean, it was successful.
It was a rush, honestly. It was fun, is what Amy's thinking back.
I'm pouty, and I'll have to be consoled if anyone wants me to do anything.
Okay, so Sonic is pouting. Tails, what are you up to?
Well, I think I was feeling fussy, but then I saw Sonic pouting, so I instantly started catering to him. Yeah. So, how am I attempting to cater to you? I'm like fretting about and like trying to give him snacks, because that usually does the trick.
So you have this plate of chili dogs in front of me.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just start there. So you've just given Sonic a plate of chili dogs. And at this point, your goal is to just kind of create a plan of attack for what you want to do next. I'm just going to kind of let the scene play out. So we start with we see a plate of chili dogs fall on Sonic's lap.
Okay. Right. And then I'm gonna, well, that's not,
And then when Tails turns away and Sonic thinks that Tails isn't looking, he says to himself, I mean, I could eat. And then he quickly gobbles up a couple of chili dogs. But then he, as soon as Tails turns around, he turns away again.
Do you want to wear your cool outfit?
You know that owl stretched it out.
Yeah, but like, what if you just wore it for a little bit? It always cheers you up.
Yes, I do. I do want to wear my cool outfit.
Okay, I'll go get it.
Thank you, Tails.
Come back with
Sonic
your...
Yeah, so Sonic is back with his cool outfit. Is there any way to like show people what the cool outfit is in the chat?
I'm looking it up right now.
Please. It's my favorite outfit.
It's
in anything.
it's so
I love
good.
it so much. I love it so much.
I have an
That-
image on my Facebook that is just him in the old
Clothes.
outfit, and it's just labeled "what" in all caps. Let me just you're gonna see on my screen for a second the
That
old
almost
man,
stretched them out.
who is an actual character from an actual Sonic
Yes.
movie.
He's the best one.
So let me
I
just
love
put the
him.
old man here, zoom him out a little bit. This is Sonic's really cool outfit. If you're
Yeah.
looking on the stream, it is. I can't even put it into words.
Like,
It's amazing.
It's just good.
Probably the coolest outfit. It's probably the coolest outfit anyone's ever worn, ever.
it comes complete with skateboard.
That's why he's so hurt.
Look at him.
It's a cool
Skates.
outfit.
And he's
Skating
like,
and skateboarding is his thing.
I love that like the colors for this cool outfit are like pink and purple, which are wonderful colors, but not like edgy cool colors. Like
And
It's just cool.
I love how it's Sonic's outfit, but we only see it once in all of Sonic canon
just the
being
one
worn
time.
by this old owl man.
He stretched it out.
All
I
right,
think it looks cool still, Sonic.
So I'm wearing my cool outfit, and my powderless level has gone down one. So the little like angry smirk I have on the side of my mouth has gone down. Let's say like one measurement.
Okay.
Tails knows how to measure these things, and he sees that like one tick has gone down. So Sonic is feeling slightly better, and he's just sitting on his bed like this with his legs crossed and his feet up, and his foot tapping impatiently, which is how you know he's still upset.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm gonna try. This doesn't always work when he's at this level, but sometimes when it does work, it takes him down another 2 notches. So I'm gonna give it a test.
Yeah, the last time Sonic was this upset, just for reference, was when he was flying a supersonic and Knuckles somehow dropped all of his bolts. That's the last time Sonic was this upset.
Yeah. So we're gonna try something out here. Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Oh, okay. It didn't work. Okay.
Do you want to talk
Okay.
about why you were in jail? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Amy, you keep trying stuff because I don't see.
Why don't you
try
ask
too
your
hard.
cool? Why don't you ask your cool new boyfriend?
Oh. Tails looks severely uncomfortable and goes out of the room to make more chili dogs.
assisted by Dave the Chili Dog Man, because I promised he would come back.
Great.
So
Thanks,
there's
Dave.
There's 2 Sonic Boom characters now.
Amy rolls her eyes and says, "Well, he's clearly involved somehow."
Yeah, he was copying me, and that's how I got thrown in jail.
What? Who are you talking about?
About Shadow, the cool hedgehog with the
Shadow,
really
the
cool-
person that the Pentagon was talking about?
the Pentagon.
You
was
know
talking
it's
about.
not cool pretending to be someone else and getting them thrown in jail. Jail isn't cool.
You know, Tails, you know something interesting you actually learned when you got the information from the Ark?
Mhm.
You learned 2 things. One, he's related to the Ark, but also you heard that he's like the ultimate life form or something like that.
Okay, I come back in with chili dogs, and I like nervously put them by Sonic.
Amy takes one.
Here's everything that I know about Shadow. The Pentagon wouldn't help me intercept a nuclear missile because of Shadow. He's the ultimate life form. He's involved with something that says it's going to crash into the planet, but hasn't yet, which I think is very interesting.
Sonic mumbles something under his breath, which is, if he's the ultimate life form, why isn't he taller?
I haven't seen this person. I'm very curious as to who in the world is so important as to cause all of this kerfuffle.
So I saw him for a second,
Okay.
and I can see why.
Ah.
So he's a hedgehog. He's
Right.
about Sonic's height.
Okay.
But
But
shorter.
Okay.
He's like a little bit shorter, and
Doesn't
he's
seem
got
important, really.
red spikes. You know,
Oh.
I've been telling Sonic to do something like that with his spikes for a long time. It looks really good on
My
Shadow.
look is a classic, Amy. Ask
mean-
any of the magazines you're always reading.
Seems like Knuckles already has that sort of thing locked
That's
down.
what I'm saying. He's basically Knuckles. Why do we need another Knuckles? We don't. We already have someone who's rude and jealous of me. We don't need another Knuckles.
I don't know
Well,
that that's his deal. His deal seems to be like revenge on all of humanity.
Look, Tails, mark my words. He's exactly like Knuckles, and eventually it'll be either him or Knuckles. Years from now, we're going to remember this point when we didn't need two Knuckleses.
I thought he was imitating you.
Well, so is Knuckles. How do you think Knuckles learned to spin dash?
Seems like you're really obsessed with this person for
I'm
no
not.
reason,
I don't think about him at all.
when what we should be focusing on is maybe saving the world.
Look, Tails, you know saving the world is always pretty high up on my list of priorities.
Okay?
But I'll admit, the way I normally save the world,
Mhm.
channeling positive emotions, like about how cool I am. But right now, I'm not feeling very cool, Tails. Do you know why that is? It's because someone jocked my style.
Okay. Okay. Have you thought that maybe this person doesn't care about your style?
No, it's pretty clear that he does care about my style. I mean, he keeps talking about how he's the coolest. Like, you don't shout stuff like that in the middle of battle unless you've got deep-seated issues.
Well, maybe he thinks he's the coolest and you just happen to think you're the coolest. And that's that. Like, Amy might think that no, she doesn't. She thinks
No,
you're the coolest.
Amy knows I am the coolest.
Yeah. Hmm.
And you know I'm the coolest too.
Yeah, I do know you're the coolest, but
Oh, so what you're saying is it's like a live and learn. No, not a live and learn. Live and let live situation, right?
yes.
Oh, so I should let him do his thing as long as he lets me do my thing?
Yes.
Okay, but his thing is currently getting me in prison, which I can't really, let him do that.
Do we know that that's his fault?
Yeah. We do know it's his fault.
He was framing you?
Yeah.
Oh.
GUN said that they said that he robbed a bank or something. I mean, look, why would I need to rob a bank?
Well, here's the
I
thing.
don't use money. I don't even have pockets in this thing.
I don't like GUN anymore.
You liked Oh, they did give you that Chaos Emerald.
Yes. And now I think they're bad. So I don't trust what they're saying. I think that maybe everything they've ever said is a lie. So
Wow, Tails.
do we trust what they said?
Have you been listening to Styx?
Haha, no. But like, she's very paranoid, but also they did have a nuclear weapon pointed at a major city that was not protected.
Oh, yeah. What's that all about?
It was very bad. I had a terrible day. So
Well, I was in prison for 3 minutes, Tails. So you'll understand. That's like
Right.
three lifetimes to a Sonic.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So basically what I'm saying is, do you trust that they were telling you the truth?
Look, I trust what's inside here. And he jabs a gloved fist into his heart.
And inside there, Sonic, if I can jump in. Sorry. Inside there, Sonic, how are you feeling right now? Like, I'm sure you're very conflicted. Have your friends' words helped you at all?
Yeah, because both Tails and Amy did acknowledge that I was the coolest,
Yeah.
which has healed some of the rift between us. And now that Sonic's a little calmed down, he's grateful that nobody got hurt. First of all, not even the robots, because as we saw when we zoomed out, nobody was living on the island, which means that even the robots, because Sonic doesn't like hurting anyone, and he doesn't like hurting robots. The only reason he hurts robots is to free the animals that are inside. So the fact that none of his friends were hurt, that everybody managed to get off the island safely, and that he still managed to save the day despite having to run away from battle, he's kind of able to digest this and the 15 or so chili dogs that he's just eaten. So
holding on to the important things, that your friends think you're the coolest, that everyone is safe.
That's
And that
really what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, and,
right. That everyone's safe, not the first thing. That's what I meant.
And then, of course, you can always hold on to the fact that at least old Eggy, Eggman, you've always got that special relationship with him, and nothing will ever change that.
Yeah, it's not like he's going to menace someone else. That would be weird.
And that's when the TV turns to a different station. And suddenly you hear, oh ho ho! And just this music starts playing, and you see Eggman in front of a very flashy background. He's clearly in front of a green screen he set up. It says Eggman Empire in the back.
Tails, the satellite TV's gone rogue again.
Oh, no. Well, no, it looks like something's happening.
I told you satellite TV was too high tech. Now look what happened.
No, don't mess with it. I have to try to chase the signal.
All right.
So I'm going to try
Let
to
him
do
chase
that.
the
You're going to
signal.
chase the citizens of Earth. Citizens of Earth, lend me your ears and listen to me very carefully. My name is Dr. Eggman, the world's greatest scientist and soon to be the world's greatest ruler.
I mean, Tails is a pretty better. Oh, right. He can't hear me.
Now, with my assistant, the world's coolest hedgehog, and he points over to Shadow the Hedgehog, who's standing behind him and is looking all like, like, oh, I don't care. And Eggman just is like, gives him like a thumbs up, like, are you cool? Okay.
Is that
Witness the beginning of the greatest empire of all time. And with that, suddenly the screen blips out. And above you, you hear this crash. If you look outside, you will see that the space where the Space Colony Ark was, half of it explodes, and it shows a giant Eggman mustache, which makes no sense in canon because it was made long before he was, but we're going to roll with it. The long bird-like Eggman nose then opens up to reveal this giant laser beam. And this laser beam shoots out. Like these rings start appearing around the laser beams. And then shoot forward, hitting the moon and blowing a hole into it. Kingdom Hearts style. And the part of that moon is completely obliterated. And as that happens around the globe, in Station Square, people are screaming. In Central City, people are screaming. In Westopolis, honestly, they're kind of used to this at that point. But they are pretty worried anyway. And Eggman's, oh ho 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 ho! Like his laughter starts echoing menacingly throughout the planet. But Sonic, you hear something even more sinister. You hear a little please chuckle from Shadow join in with Eggman.
Okay, so we could have just lasered Perfect Chaos from orbit.
I'm a little worried about debris falling from the moon and also the possibility of maybe the Earth's access to stabilizing a little bit and
Oh yeah, I mean, we definitely have to get up there and check
tides
that out.
issues.
Looks like a turn for the worse.
This is a really big problem.
Yeah.
Tails, how long would it? Tails, how long would it take you to like replace half of the moon? Like 2-3 weeks?
You can do that, right? You're good at that kind of stuff.
No, he's
Last year,
explaining.
paper bag moment.
Davey's genuinely trying to find a paper bag for Tails.
Okay, and yeah, find that paper bag for Tails, but I just want to point out once again that now we've got another knockoff of me being tricked by Eggman. And I don't want to say that Knuckles is going to get pushed out of the picture,
Was
but
that the guy?
That's the guy. It's not another
He was really
knockoff
cool
Sonic.
looking.
It's just the original knockoff.
I liked his hair.
Thank you, Tails, because I think that it's pretty cool too. Not as cool as you, Sonic.
I mean, I look better when I'm supersonic.
She nods as she pulls the paper bag out of her
Thank you.
like, hammer of holding and gives it to Tails.
Well, Tails will solve this. So in the meantime, why would Egghead be working with this guy? And
Destroy the moon.
I don't know. Isn't wanton destruction just kind of his thing?
You know, I've never really understood him. He doesn't do a lot of things that make sense. But this like especially doesn't make sense, you know?
Why would he build 2 death eggs if he had this, arc thing floating around?
Okay. I'm gonna go see if my check was able to find out where he. No, he was definitely just on the. No, we know where he is. He was clearly on the colony.
Okay.
Well, I
So,
say we just get up there and beat him up.
Let's just
Yeah.
go up there and beat him up.
Why don't we steal a spaceship from Gun or something? They probably got one lying around, right?
Okay.
Or Egghead's probably got one.
I'll think about it later, I guess. I'm not doing so hot at the moment in terms of planning, so I feel like going up there and beating them up is a good idea because they clearly have the crystals.
Yeah, and look, Tails. Sometimes the best plan is no plan.
Hold on. I have the last crystal. We should not take that to them.
What if we left it here and we got up there a different way?
How are you going to power the tornado if you don't have the
I guess
last
I'm not
emerald?
taking the tornado.
That's a different way.
Tails.
Yeah.
Can you hide the emerald somehow?
Like what do you mean?
Well, I saw Shadow using the emerald to, like, teleport.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if maybe there's a way we could use that to our advantage.
Huh. I don't know. The only thing that I've tried to use it for. Here, you can try it. Takes it out of the tornado and hands it over.
So I'm holding the emerald and I'm tossing it up in the air a couple of times. Let's see. What did he say? Chaos, go!
And
Chaos, accelerate! Chaos, elucidate! What did he say?
And I'm gonna say the camera just we just have the camera pan out and we just hear Sonic say different chaos things.
I'm gonna say every word I know.
Tails, get the dictionary.
Get a thesaurus.
All right, and we fade out further out, and we're gonna end on our cliffhanger. We go up to the space colony arc. Shadow, instead of having his dramatic flashback, instead is we hear the voice again, and the voice says, and we hear the voice say again, "I plan to give you a taste of my revenge. Once all the 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected, once I initiate this program, it cannot be disabled. All of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair." And Shadow is watching this on a console, and he just turns off the console, walks away, briefly looks at his quills in the mirror, and just says, "I should really refrost my tips." And that will be the end of this session. All right, thank you so
No Maria reflection. I love it. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you for joining Sonic Adventure 2 Roleplay. This has been us. We're doing this every other Monday. Today's not a Monday. Our next one is going to be on the 29th. We've got 2 sessions left. We've got Get to Space. That's just next session is we're getting to space, and then we're going to be in space. This is as you can tell, very loose reinterpretation of Sonic Adventure 2 as a role-playing system. Before we wrap up today, if everyone could just introduce themselves, just quickly say their name, what they do, and then I will, as you do that, try to pull up links and throw them in the chat. And we'll just go in order from Sonic, Tails, Amy, so we'll start with Pranks, and then just go around and we'll end with me.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, I'm Pranks Paul. I am a lawyer by day, and I guess by night I do this. So you can find me on a couple podcasts. One is Never Tell Me the Pods, which is a Star Wars discussion podcast. It hasn't come out in a while due to various factors, including, generally how the world has been. And then the other thing that you can find is something I work on with my creative partner, Cat Cool, called the Autonomic Podcast, which is a family-friendly podcast with an Indo-Ecuadorian fantasy setting that I will let Kat talk more about. You can also find me on Twitter at RogueTLDR. So until next time.
Hey, I'm Kat Cool. I am a game designer, a tabletop role-playing game designer, one of those, and actual play podcaster, and recently a streamer. If the easiest place to find me is on Twitter at cat_cool_ with cool spelled like my last name, KUHL. Pranks mentioned my favorite thing that I do, which is the Autonomic podcast. Yeah, I don't know. I think Pranks covered it pretty well. But you can find it at autonomicpodcast.com with autonomic spelled like the nervous system. It's just a pretty cool show. It's emphatically all ages, but all ages in the way that like Avatar: The Last Airbender is all ages. So it's not just for kids. You can also find my streaming wares at Twitch at Cool Kid with a little underscore between cool and kid. So that's me.
Hallie, tell me about yourself.
Oh, I'm Hallie. It doesn't matter what I do during the day. I'm on 2 podcasts. I'm on one called Catching Up David. I have a friend named David who hasn't seen any pop culture films. Just like any of them, like a small handful, but for the most part, no. He hadn't seen like Mean Girls or National Treasure. So we mostly just show them to him, and then he talks about seeing them at like the wrong age with people who saw them at the right age. That's Catching Up David, just all one word on Twitter. And then I'm also on Quest Friends, which is the channel this is being hosted on. I will let Kyle go into details about Quest Friends. You can find me on Twitter at Hallie Kuntz. That's HALLIEKOONTZ, like the author.
All right, and then finally, I'm Kyle. One thing before we get started, if you want to know why Hallie will seethe in rage when I say the word "can't believe it,"
No!
listen to Catching Up David.
Stop!
All right, I am Kyle. I'm gonna quickly put my final links in here. I do have a Twitter, but I don't care about it. I don't care if you go there. Because
That's the correct approach.
Yeah.
I purely want to promote Quest Friends. Quest Friends, if Autonomic is an all ages Avatar: The Last Airbender, we are a Avatar: The Last Airbender that should be all ages, but we like to cuss too much.
Love that. Love that for you.
Quest Friends is a role-playing podcast in the Numenera system that takes place 1 billion years in the future as we follow 4 friends as they go through a series of worlds such as Las Vegas, Disneyland, just the cutest Mad Max gang you'll ever meet, and just the Earth Kingdom from Avatar, because I was out of ideas at one point.
It's just what it is.
It's a fun exploration of the intersection between friendship and family. If you enjoyed the fun shenanigans we had here, but wanted that trapezoid like emotional heartbeat to be accentuated by music and just as weird and suddenly abrupt, check out questfriendspodcast.com. I also want to highlight the Cookie Crew, which I've also linked. Cookie Crew is an all-women spin-off of Quest Friends, which follows 4 diplomats as they try to resolve disputes such as trying to stop an incoming conquering empire with a box of cookies, and then trying to resolve a book banning incident with a food fight.
Read the revolution. Yeah, that's what they say.
The Readvolution.
The
Cookie
Readvolution.
Crew, June is Cookie Crew month. It used to be Women in Tabletop Gaming month, and we still like to celebrate it by having something new with the Cookie Crew every June. So we've got those 2 arcs, the Cookie Crew and the Cookie 2, and we've also got 2 fun crossover episodes, the Cookie Con and the Cookie Candidate, coming up at the end of June and beginning of July. All right, well, thanks so much, everyone, for watching, for joining us on this Sonic adventure, and thanks so much for all the players. Again, we will be back in about a week and a half on Monday, June 29th, for Sonic Adventure 2 Roleplay, Episode 3, let's get to space. It'll have a different name at the time, but that's the idea.
Road trip. Yay!
Space road trip. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great night.